What's up, y'all? It's your boy King M. You already know what it is. So today, I got another special guest. This dude, I met him a few weeks ago. Real cool cat. My roommate for real. I'm gonna let him introduce himself though. You feel me? I ain't gonna say nothing else. Let him introduce himself.
Nice to meet you, I'm Corey Payne.
What's up, Corey, man? How you feeling, brother?
Feeling good today?
That's what it is, man. So, I'm happy to have you on the show, man. You know, I've been trying to get you on here for about a week, 2 weeks. Nate, what'd you say? When I first started asking you?
First started asking about 2 weeks ago.
Alright, so yeah, ready for this questionnaire, man?
Absolutely.
Alright, let's go. So, the first question is, how was your childhood and who raised you?
My childhood, I guess my childhood, I would say, was pretty great. I was raised by my great-grandparents, and they didn't really care about anything except for getting out of school.
Getting out of school. Now, when you say they ain't really care about nothing but getting out of school, what you mean? Like, was they, because you said your grandparents, right? So, would you say your grandparents was, because I know a lot of people that get raised by their grandparents, they more so old-fashioned, whereas though it's like, they don't want you messing with no girls, they want you strictly worrying about school, you can't really have a lot of fun, like, they kind of strict. Was they like strict, or?
They was only strict when it came to slacking off. If I didn't start caring about school, then they would start being strict. But because I got out of school pretty quickly, they didn't have to be strict with me. They didn't care about if I was cussing. As long as I wasn't being disrespectful to them, I could basically do whatever I want.
Okay. Did you have siblings?
I didn't know I had siblings until I turned 14.
So you turned 14, so your whole like childhood coming up before you was 14, it was just you and your grandparents? Wow, so you was like an only child then. Damn, so was that fun being the only child?
It was fun to play because I didn't really get along with the neighborhood I was raised. I was raised out in the county of Randallstown, and it was just more white people than black people, so I didn't really get along with them. I didn't understand the things I talked about because I came from my grandfathers.
Who were the white kids? When you say that, you mean like they didn't get the culture, or they just didn't, they wasn't feeling what you was?
They didn't get the culture, and some people over there was extremely racist.
Dang, that's heavy. I've been in the free prejudice situations myself. That shit ain't cool at all. So, would you say like coming up, it sounded like you really wasn't too focused on being friends with them anyway? Like them kids, you just like, I'm just gonna focus on school. My friends, they'll come in later type situation.
I did in the long run. In high school, I did end up meeting some friends, some county black people that I knew, and we grew up and created a group in the future.
Okay, like a crew?
Gaming crew.
Okay, that's what's up. So you in the games already? Shit, man, that's what's up. So these kids that you came up with your crew with, that little crew that was after you was, after you turned 14?
After I turned 14.
Okay. So they wasn't no kids that was around your way when you was little. You met them when you got a little older. Okay. So you pretty much, you got cool with your homeboys once you was old enough to actually get out there and meet people. Okay, I got you. That's what's up. Sound like your grandparents was just like trying to protect you for real. That's what it sounded like to me. So I'm glad you had some grandparents, that kid, because like, I only had one grandparent. I feel like the other three, I didn't even know the other two. And then my grandmother, she lived in New York, and she had a whole bunch of other grandkids, so she really wasn't too pressed on me coming and spend time with her. But I did know her, like, she was cool as shit. Tell me about your mental health. What are your diagnoses? And how do they cause you to act? If you have any diagnosis, do you know?
PTSD, and I can't remember the other three, but basically because of what I dealt with growing up, during ages 14 all the way up to 19, I lost over 30 family members. Just in 2 years, I lost over 30 family members. I lost friends, close friends. And it basically...
You said within 2 years?
Within 2 years.
Damn.
I lost almost everyone I knew growing up, and all the family members I knew. My grandmother, one of my grandfathers died. 6 of my friends, my sister's baby died. I was just... And then...
Traumatized, yeah.
And then people started... I stopped talking to people, stopped hanging around people because the way I expressed myself, I didn't care about anything anymore.
Right.
When it came to taking care of myself, I stopped even caring about myself.
Was your grandparents around doing all of this?
Only the grandfather that raised me.
Grandfather that raised you. How did he feel about this?
He understood why I was acting like that, but he didn't know how to talk about it because he's never dealt with something like that.
Got you. So he was just trying to support you the best way he could. Alright, so so you said it's PTSD and what's the other one?
PTSD and I can't remember the other ones. I know there's some.
Wait, did you say 2 or you just said 1?
I just said 1.
Oh, excuse me, my bad. I thought you had said 2. So PTSD. I got PTSD too. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, that disorder, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very can be very extreme. In some cases, it can alter your whole life. You could go from being an outgoing person and wanting to meet people to shutting straight down, not coming outside, not wanting to meet nobody, just like being like a turtle in your shell. So that shit is not nothing to play with. It's a hotline number for PTSD. If you got any crisis, you feel like you need to talk to somebody, 988. Call them if you feeling like you need to talk. So next question. What do you do to treat and cope and deal with PTSD?
Most of the time, what I cope to deal with is I read, write poems, draw, or game and talk to my friends. Because most of the friends I have on Xbox is basically the only my friends I have left that didn't die or didn't leave.
Abandoned you, yeah. Yeah, man, that's tough. That's what's up, though. So it sounds like you got a few outlets, though, to help you deal with, your disorder. That's what's up. Out of all of them coping strategies, which one is your favorite? Which one would you say you go to most? Reading? Okay. That's funny, because I'm your roommate, and I ain't seen you read not once since we've been in there.
Usually when at night, you see me on my phone while I'm not going to sleep, I'm sitting there just reading.
Oh, on the phone?
I have 6 reading apps on my phone.
Oh, alright. Damn, that's what it is. Shit, I got books too. Like, if you look on my dresser, did you ever notice them stack of books that's right there? They books, like, different type of books too. So, if you want to read one, yeah.
What type?
Whatever. I mean, I like urban novels though. But I like learning shit, so all the shit I got.
Hood novels, you mean?
Yeah, hood, urban, same difference.
Yeah, I need one.
Like, I got The Wire, the book, like shit like that.
Stop the tape. Stop the tape.
Nah. My bad, y'all. But so you said which one would you pick? Reading. That's what's up. I like reading too. What's your favorite book?
So far, my favorite book comes from, it's an old book, it's from, what is his name? T.B. Shakespeare.
Shakespeare?
Shakespeare's first book.
What the hell? He said Shakespeare. That's some old other shit right there.
My grandparents had extremely old books, and they had every variation of Shakespeare on their shelf. All 74 of them.
So what's a Shakespeare book like? Ain't he a musician?
He is, but he was talking. The people don't understand that his poems in his book was talking about his life story. and the first book was literally how he grew up.
Kind of like Mozart. Wow, that's crazy. I might have to get into that because you said Shakespeare.
Because the phrase "to be or not to be" was his iconic phrase.
He came up with that?
Yeah, he came up with that. And the thing that people don't know is
Wow.
to be to not to be. He was talking about himself. The skull representing his other self. To be this self or not to be this self.
Yeah. Damn. So that's what that slogan means?
People keep twisting it and changing it, but that's what it truly means from what his books subscribe, that he wanted to be himself.
Right.
He didn't want to be himself. To be or not to be.
Damn, that's serious. I'm definitely going to check him out because, like, I know Mozart. I remember being in elementary school and we had to do like we had to do some type of like project on it. And I remember I had learned like Yo had like this. He had like he had a mental disorder too, and it drove him crazy. But he kept making music at the same time, and like if you check out your backstory, that shit is like it's sad. I ain't gonna lie, that shit make you want to cry a little bit. Like not cry, but it's just fucked up how his life was.
Yeah, most people don't even know that Beethoven was deaf.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. A lot of them old musicians, man, they lives, it be fucked up, you feel me? And they try to cover it through their music. That's like what I noticed with a lot of them old musicians, for real. I don't know if it's because it was the time frame they lived in. The Vietnam two live in the same time frame. Mozart and Beethoven. See, that's what I'm saying. That time frame shit was wicked. If you think about it, though, back then, even now, if you do research on it, they say like over years as time went on the planet, right now is the safest humans have ever been. Because you know, like back then, it was just fucking stones and arrows and motherfuckers was living like barbarians back then. Like now, we got so much technology, we got police. They ain't had police and shit back then like that. Like not like how we got them. I don't think so. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Have you ever felt hopeless? Like it was no getting better for you because of your mental health? If yes, why?
Like I said the first time, after dealing with all of that, I started not caring about myself. So the older I got, even now, I would take in other people's thoughts. I could be, like right now, I have a migraine headache. My ribs are hurting, my legs hurting, but nobody knows that because they don't ask. I don't express it unless they actually ask.
And why is that?
Because I would say, what most people say, numb to self. Because I could be injured, I could be anything, and I'd be just like, how was your day? I lost care for self. Like how people say you must care for self before you care for others.
Yeah.
I always care for others before I care for self.
Damn, I feel you on that, man. That's serious, because I'm the same way, but like, I feel like you gotta love yourself, bro. Like, that's the only way you can love anybody else. You can't really truly love nobody else unless you can love yourself. Like, that's what somebody told me one day, and that shit really stuck with me. Because, I mean, it's true. It's like, if you trying to shave and you don't know how to shave, how you going to help somebody else shave if you don't know how to shave? You get what I'm saying? You like, you agree?
I agree.
Like, don't disagree with me. If you don't, let me know. We agree. All right.
Is that because of what I dealt with growing up, I wanted to care for myself. Every time I try, I just feel like, what's even the point?
Right. Damn, man. Like, you ever get to talk to anybody about it? Like counselors or therapists? You never got into none of that?
I'm talking to two about that, but when I went into pure detail about it, they kept giving me the same stuff everybody else said. And it helped some, but it still didn't make me care for myself. I still will go over myself to help others.
What you mean, like, when you say you went to them and they helped some, it didn't help enough, though? Like what you mean? Like, what was an example of something that they was telling you to do?
They started telling me, basically they started off like, you should take care of yourself more by going to do stuff you like. Pick up a hobby that you know that can calm you down, or get your mental state to a calm place. I tried doing that. I started drawing again. But then more people and my friends died, the people they said I should talk to.
Yeah.
And then it just started going straight back downhill.
That's crazy. So, do you think that was something that you could have prevented, or you think that was going to happen regardless?
With my friends, so the thing that happened to my friends?
Yeah.
One of them, David, he was a friend that was in the family. There was family friends. His grandfather was cool with my grandfather, and he used to come over. We was friends way before we cared about each other, but we were focused on school more than friendship. We started talking to each other right around I turned 20. And then you remember that shootout over there at Federal Hill?
Yeah.
He was on that hill trying to sell paintings to people in that neighborhood for me.
Yeah.
And I knew I should have went with him or told him not to go. But when he went, the shootout happened and he got caught in the crossfire.
Wow. Man, that's fucking crazy. Because I seen it on the news.
And I was in the office right there by the harbor. My working office where I sat there and paint and
Yeah.
everything. I was in the office, heard the shootout. And they said, Federal Hill had a shootout. And I was like,
That same day?
the same day.
And you was like, what?
I was just sitting there like, it better not. It better not. I went all the way up to the hill. They taped off the hill. They wouldn't let nobody up there. I was like, my friend is up there. I got to
You
see
knew he
he's
was
up
over there.
Because he still didn't come back even 45 minutes after they closed up the area.
Man, that's crazy, man. Like, take my hat off on that one. Man, that's always a tough. It sounded like he was the person out of all of them that hit you the hardest.
Because he knew what I went through growing up. When we started actually going to school together again, he was there for me when I wanted to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah.
But then when he died, I'm just like, who else the fuck do I got that actually knew me when I was growing up? None. None of my friends now knew how I grew up or knew what I dealt with growing up.
Right. So he was like your best friend for real. Damn, I'm sorry to hear about that. That shit happened like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So it's not even, that ain't even that long ago. So when that happened, when this happened, because I remember you told me you had your girl, you was using with your girl at the time. So even after Yo passed away, you still was surviving and living normal and stuff.
I was living normal, but you know how I like playing the game a lot, right?
Yeah.
For that whole 2 years of his first death, I didn't even touch my game.
Right.
My gaming group kind of fell off after that because I stopped playing the game completely because I didn't even want to talk to anybody. Because they knew me 5 years, 4 years. One of them even 9 years, but none of them knew me since I grew up.
Yeah, that's like when I lost my cousin. He was a year younger than me. We grew up together, so yeah, I know that. So I mean, I already know after he died, you started drinking more then.
That's when I started drinking more than my female friend, the one who's going to be here to do my hair later. She was there for me to stop me from drinking. Because one day she just came in and I was just sitting on the bed. All vodka bottles sitting across my bed. I think it was about 30, 40 vodka bottles. She was like, I better not have to take you to the hospital. And she just took all my money and got me the stuff I need. Some days I say, get me bread, give me this. And come to check on me, making sure I'm not drinking.
And where's your girl at?
She right now is in college.
I'm talking about during that time. Where was she at?
She was working, but she was also living with me.
That's what I'm saying. She didn't care about your friend bringing you that shit.
She was helping her keep it away from me. She was in the house at night when she came back from work. She was making sure I wasn't going out to try to go buy nothing. She worked in the morning.
Let me ask you this: was your friend attractive to you? The one that was? Oh wow! You see where I was going at, right?
Yeah, she was more of a sister figure.
Okay. Because you know how women. Do you think your girl felt the same way?
No, she felt the same way. She knew she was a sister figure because the way she treated people.
Yeah.
She treated everybody like siblings. She didn't treat nobody no different than she had a boyfriend.
Right. All right, cool. Cause I was gonna say, females, and the whole time in the back of her mind, she like, yeah, this bitch trying to take my man, playing the 50. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, If it was anything you could change about your mental health, what would it be and why?
If I could change anything, I wish I could have. You know how some people wish they could lose their memory for just one event?
Yeah.
I wish I didn't meet David again, the friend that died in front of her.